First of all, let me get my paper. This is the Strathmore colored pencil paper. I love using this when I'm not sure what paper to use. This is very versatile. This is the paper that you will always go to whenever you want a good paper. So we have the Crayola Colors of the World colored pencils. I know you are wondering why we should use this kids colored pencil, but they have this new version, the all skin tone set, 24-piece Crayola pure skin tone. How good is that? I know you're thinking maybe that is just like the Faber Castell Classic and the Brad Funer, but there is something with this Crayola Colors of the World that you should really need to find out on your drawings when you use it on paper. I'm using it intentionally, just like how I use Polychromos or Prismacolor. So this has three different tones. We have the golden, the rose, and the almond. So all in all, this is pure skin tone set. So if you need any colors, you can just use any colored pencils. But what's good about this, how great is that? I know every colored pencil artist is dreaming that Polychromos or Prismacolor or Caran D Ache has this kind of set where you can buy all skin tone 24-piece. How good is that? But anyway, this is Crayola. This is still kids grade, but you can see here, as you can see, I am using it just like the regular Polychromos or Prismacolor. I'm using it in the same pace that I would normally do with these expensive colored pencils. And let us find out right now how the product of these Crayola colored pencils can be compared to the Polychromos or the Prismacolor and all these expensive colored pencils. This is only at, I think, less than $5, the price of these Colors of the World. Imagine a 24-piece skin tone set. As you can see here on the right side, the colors are all related to each other. There is nothing, that you can find here that you cannot use on the skin tone. Actually, I'm trying to use all the colors here on this particular portrait. And what's good thing about this is you can use as many colors or as many pencils as you can, because like most beginners, the problem is to choose what color pencils you can use for the skin tone. The good thing about this, if you are a beginner and you are practicing skin tone with colored pencils, you don't have to worry about picking the right colors, because you can just use as many as you can. It ranges from very dark tones to mid tones to light tones, so you can choose 10, 15 colors. It doesn't matter, because I think in the final outcome it will still produce a very nice, beautifully saturated, perfect skin tone. So how I wish that Polychromos and offset also the skin tone set, because this is really what we want. And here are the things that I observed with this pencil. They are very smooth to use. It's very smooth. Surprisingly, I do not expect it to be smooth, since this is not an artist grade colored pencil. Let me just be honest about that. I'm not sure about the light fastness of these colored pencils. Another thing here is that the colors really mix well with each other, so you can layer easily on top of the other layers. So because there are colored pencils, especially the cheap ones, that won't allow you to have multiple layers. But here, as you can see, I was able to combine my dark with my mid tones with my light tones. Here, I'm going from dark to light on this particular drawing, and I love, maybe the paper is a big help here. So I suggest, if you are using colored pencils like this, who are not very expensive, you can use, I think you should invest on a good paper, because with good and quality tooth. And another thing that I observed here is that it's very, very nice and easy to create textured skin tone, because what I observe on its lead, it's very hard. It's almost kind of remind me like a Polychromos. It's not so much like Prismacolor, which is waxy and creamy. This is a bit more like Polychromos. I like it because the lead really stays on point for a longer time compared to Prismacolor. When the Prismacolor, you have the tendency to always sharpen it, but here with Crayola, it surprisingly feels like oil based. And then another thing here with this Colors of the World skin tone set is there is no really super bright colors like bright pink. Everything is pale. Everything is toned down in terms of the saturation, which you will really love if you are studying skin tone with colored pencils. You will really love it. As you can see here, I did a little bit like a time lapse just to fasten the video a little bit, but you can see more or less that it really smoothly layers on the paper. So forget about light fastness, forget about the artist quality colored pencils. You can just close your eyes and you can feel that this is not totally how a kids grade colored pencils would usually perform as we expect. Maybe a lot of people are not yet discovering this Crayola Colors of the World. Tell me on the comment section if you have encountered it already if you have heard of it, this particular colored pencil, because we have the regular Crayola, which is the what our kids use in school. But this one is I think this is quite almost like the same, but with a concentration of 24 pure skin tone colors, which you will really love. Like this, I am already, I usually go from dark to light, but here I can just go back and forth with dark, with light, with dark, with light, because I don't worry anymore with the colors. I can just pick anything here. I'm so much free. Like here, this is the real time. You can see that I'm using this very light pencil to blend a little bit the skin tone. I can see here that I do not need to burnish, just like what I do with Prismacolor, because here I was able to, as you can see, can you see the very little skin details that I added using my dark pencils on the very top here? Those browns, I use it to create nice texture with the skin tone, because what I'm trying to achieve here, and what I'm trying actually to show you here, is that even if this is Crayola, the brand that we know is for kids, I am trying to show you here that you can still create skin tone that is not as far in terms of the output compared to Polychromos or the Prismacolor. This is really a nice output. Here you can see, you can observe how beautiful the skin tone is, because this is pure skin tone set. So I'm not suggesting that you use this for commission portraits or for any kind of artwork that you can sell, because the fact is still a fact that this is just the kids grade, and we don't know how long it will the color will fade, because it doesn't claim any like fast rating. So here I can really suggest, if you are, maybe you're not a beginner, maybe you have been using colored pencils for a while, this is the regular Crayola, as you can see here, and this is the Colors of the World, which I am using right now. It's a bit different. It's a bit different because you don't have this really bright colors, and because I don't have the bright colors in the Colors of the World, can you see that bright orange there? That is the orange from regular Crayola, because I need to use that particular bright red or orange on the lips and on some part of the skin where I need a little bit of blush. Okay, so I needed the help from the regular Crayola, because in the 24-piece set of these Colors of the World, which the price is only less than $5, so this is really cheap. But this, don't let the price and the name Crayola fool you, because this particular version of Crayola, the Colors of the World colored pencils, which have these are the tones of the colors, you can really just close your eyes and use it the way you use your Polychromos or your Prismacolor. So if you have been using colored pencils, if you have been trying to study colored pencils in a couple of years, I think you can just learn a lot from this colored pencil. I suggest you use it in the pace, the slow pace that you would usually do with Prismacolor or Polychromos, and you will have the result that you wouldn't expect from Crayola at all. As you can see here, I'm showing you here the actual output of the skin tone of the Crayola, because the Crayola Colors of the World do not have the black for the hair. I decided to use this Cretacolor oily colored pencil, oily charcoal pencil, the Cretacolor Nero, and I use that indenting tool also for the hair, just for the highlights of the hair, because I don't want to focus on the hair. This is the Cretacolor, I use it for the hair. I want to focus on the skin tone, which I just did with this Crayola Colors of the World. I'm showing you this another version of Crayola, or other versions of colored pencils that are not very expensive, because we don't want to really learn colored pencils using very expensive artist quality colored pencils. That is not going to be economical. So we are in a recession, or going to a recession, so we we can still create good portraits, skin tone, even if we are not using too much Polychromos or Prismacolor that can cost us a lot of money. So here, if you are practicing like myself, I am still practicing somehow, even if I've been using colored pencils for a couple of years, and even if sometimes I feel like I'm already good, but I am surprised that I can still be better, a lot better. So I'm still, even up to this day, I'm still practicing using different kinds of colored pencils, ranging from the artist grade to the mid-range to this kind of colored pencils, which is the kids grade, supposed to be kids grade, but it doesn't look and feel like kids grade at all, if you can see on this particular portrait of one of my favorite young actors, Timothy Chalamet. Is that how you pronounce his name? Okay, so yeah, so I'm just showing you how to be resourceful, if that is how you call it, or how you can really create good portraits with materials that should not be very expensive. So and the knowledge and the learnings that you will acquire on using these cheap colored pencils, you can very well apply it to whenever you already have or afford expensive colored pencils like Polychromos, Caran D Ache Luminance, even Prismacolor is a bit expensive as well. But if you especially if for the beginners, I would like to talk also to the beginners. You don't need Polychromos yet. You just need to practice using good colored pencils. This is the colored pencil that I will really suggest you get, because especially if you are overwhelmed with choosing the colors to use for the skin tone. Here you don't have to worry about picking the right color, because every color is related to each other. This is pure skin tone set. So you're there. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.